Hello everyone, welcome to NetFlow Analyzer's free training series. This season's free training series is divided into two parts. In the first part, we'll talk about tackling network traffic management challenges with strategies and solutions, and how NetFlow Analyzer and its features can make it fail-proof and streamlined. In the second part, we'll talk about how you can integrate NetFlow Analyzer based on your IT infrastructure. You'll learn about the customization features with its functional formulae developed specifically to meet your bandwidth management demands. Let's start with today's session, tackling network management challenges, strategies, and solutions. In this session, we'll cover how bandwidth monitoring can bring a difference to your network, and what makes NetFlow Analyzer score over its competitors, and how to carry out smart monitoring with NetFlow Analyzer, ensuring your organization's security beyond network traffic analysis with NetFlow Analyzer. And we're also going to look at the bandwidth management strategies powered by NetFlow reports. In a dynamic IT landscape, as much as network management is given significance, measuring bandwidth usage is not taken into account. The drawback that they automatically face without the right bandwidth monitoring solution can keep them blind-eyed to many performance issues. Bandwidth monitoring is important to measure the speed and capacity of your network. By knowing aspects that are affecting the performance, such as where most of the traffic is coming from, how your network is being used, and by which application or users, you can tackle most challenges in both solving the bandwidth bottlenecks and ensuring your network's availability for business-critical operations. With knowing the source of bandwidth hogs and learning what the consequences are, you can keep your network optimized to fulfill the requirements. Finally, you can plan the upgrades that are only necessary without purchasing more for every congestion problem. So, what are the challenges faced by network administrators during bandwidth monitoring? As a part of the IT team in an enterprise, Network Traffic Analysis 101 becomes essential for a proactive approach to network management. Regular updates and improvements to monitoring systems are necessary to keep up with the evolving network architectures and technologies. The foremost major challenge is gaining in-depth visibility into the network. Achieving the right level of granularity in monitoring is crucial. Too much detail can overwhelm administrators with information, while too little may result in overlooking the critical issues. Striking the right balance requires understanding the specific needs and the goals of your network. Managing traffic across LAN, WAN, and wireless networks is essential for optimal performance by preventing congestion and bottlenecks, enhancing the overall efficiency of data transfer, and maintaining the reliable and responsive network. Identifying the specific applications responsible for bandwidth consumption is challenging, especially in environments with numerous applications and services running concurrently. Understanding application level usage from mission critical applications over non mission critical applications is essential for making informed decisions. As a network administrator, security becomes a crucial aspect in networking monitoring, especially if sensitive information is involved. Identifying abnormal behavior is important for potential security threats and performance issues. So, when you want to start with bandwidth monitoring, there are many solutions available on the market to help you. How you choose these tools that it saves your time and effort, knowing its nuances, and also helps integrate effortlessly where most tools fail. NetFlow Analyzer, in this case, has been considered one of the best tools by our customers, and here are the reasons why it can be the best solution for your organization too. Flow analysis is an effective way to get a comprehensive look into your network since it gives you data about what's going on in your network. While packet capture is a great method since it collects the raw data for records, it can take up more storage that can again drain your budget when you get resources. But with Flow, you get information about both ends of traffic like source and destination, the application, port and protocols, etc., with minimal storage since it represents statistical data. NetFlow Analyzer is a flow-based tool, meaning it makes your monitoring extensive and hassle-free. The greatest challenge with today's global business is the performance degradation that comes with its large size and scope. You need to get visibility into all locations all at once and manage any network issues as soon as possible. NetFlow Analyzer helps you monitor the distributed network for its traffic all under a single console. More on this will be discussed towards the end of the session. Scalability is yet another advantage that NetFlow Analyzer offers. Whether yours is a small, mid-sized, or a large enterprise handling thousands of hundreds of interfaces, NetFlow Analyzer can scale along with your organization and provide end-to-end visibility. You can also customize our solutions based on your monitoring requirements. As we have a legacy in the IT domain, we know how complex these networks have gotten and what it can take for an admin to carry out proper network monitoring. That's why NetFlow Analyzer comes with add-ons like Network Configuration Managers, Operators, and Application Manager. As a flow-based tool, NetFlow Analyzer supports different flow formats like NetFlow, SFlow, JFlow, IPFix, NetStream, and AppFlow to provide multi-vendor support. You can also view the traffic of non-flow exporting devices with our agent network packet sensor, which we look into the second part of this free training series. Lastly, how we navigate within the tool is one important aspect to view and comprehend what's happening across your network. NetFlow Analyzer's UI provide insights in the easy-to-read formats like graphs and charts. Therefore, you can get a glance of all the data you need without hassles and also get to the bits and pieces of your traffic insights with up to 1 minute granularity. Let's start discussing how you can carry out bandwidth monitoring with NetFlow Analyzer. In short, NetFlow Analyzer brings visibility into the who, when, and what of your network traffic. NetFlow Analyzer collects the data from various devices through flow technology, stores them, analyzes all the network components with 1 minute granularity for in-depth visibility. Then it provides information through real-time and historic traffic data and generates reports based on your monitoring needs and enables you to troubleshoot any network issue. The first step you need to do is export flow for your devices into NetFlow Analyzer. The crucial step is to get started with its monitoring is exporting flows, which has been simplified with NetFlow Analyzer's discovery step. In the UI, to discover flow, under the Settings tab, we click on the Discovery option and click Export Flow, where you can see the options of device info, login credentials, configuration template, and flow status. So how to add a device in NetFlow Analyzer? So under the device info tab, we add the IP address, and select the SNMP credential for NetFlow Analyzer to fetch the device and its interfaces, or you can also ignore this step. But when you select the SNMP credential, the vendor will be automatically selected, or you can choose the model. And if you have skipped choosing an SNMP credential, you need to manually select the vendor and the model. So here, there are options to select your SNMP credential, and I choose to select the public credential and click on Text Connection. So now you can test the connection where NetFlow Analyzer's ping test will start verifying the device reachability. So here you can select the vendor and the vendor model. And you also have to note that if your device vendor and model name is not listed, you can click on the Add Vendor option and the Add Model option to start a chat with our support team, or you can configure the devices through GUI. After clicking the next section, you can enter your login credentials where you select the protocol. It can be either Telnet or SSH protocol. You can provide the username and the password. And if you customize, you can click on the additional parameters where you can enter the enable command or enable username or password and select next. And after the ping test, you can proceed with verifying the respective device configurations here. So when you click next, your flows would have been configured. So once the flows have been configured, everything will be shown under the inventory tab of all your network components. And before that, we can see NetFlow Generator, which is the all-new server traffic monitor, where NetFlow Generator is an agent-based feature available in Network Packet Sensor module, helping the organizations monitor network traffic of non-flow exporting devices. So NetFlow Generator operates by translating data packets into the NetFlow packets and sending them to the NetFlow Analyzer's listener ports to show network traffic patterns and provide bandwidth usage reports. With NetFlow Analyzer Server Traffic Monitor, you can create logical groups by devices, applications, access points, and interfaces based on the branches or departments and get an overall analysis of all traffic data. With such grouping, you can monitor the traffic of servers to keep track of how critical departments of your organization are consuming bandwidth and allocate resources accordingly. So now, once the flows are exported, you'll be able to see all the devices and interfaces of your network in the NetFlow Analyzer under Inventory tab. So under Inventory tab, you can see all the network components such as devices, interfaces, groups, applications, cloud services, users, QoS, and the AS view. So when you click on any device, you'll be able to see the summary, flow details, the traffic, interfaces of that device, applications, source, destination, QoS, the entire conversation, security, cloud services, users, and the NCM devices as well. And if it's in an NCM devices, you can also look at the details regarding that device, such as backup summary and the details related to that configuration management. So apart from devices, you can also monitor the traffic consumed by every interface. And right from the summary to the conversations, you can view how the bandwidth is being utilized, along with which you'll also be able to see the multicast and MediaNet traffic of the interface. So here in this, you can see the traffic, application, source, destination, QoS, conversation, NBAR, and the multicast and MediaNet traffic consequently. And again, on the inventory section, you can also see the application traffic monitoring, which is one of the significant advantages that you can get to know the bandwidth usage of your network to bits and pieces. With NetFlow Analyzer, your application monitoring is made easier as it gives insights into the both layer 4 and layer 7 application traffic. So here, when you click on layer 4 applications, you can see the list of applications under the layer 4 category. And you can see the traffic and the interfaces and how much of bandwidth has been utilized by them and which application is hogging your bandwidth. Knowing bandwidth consumption by resource-intensive applications that uses dynamic ports can help you implement certain policies to block traffic so that your business-critical applications don't suffer from insufficient bandwidth. Though there are tools to help you monitor cloud services, monitoring applications of dynamic ports can be challenging with the increase in today's world. Cisco AVC monitoring will help you overcome this issue by giving you insights into NBAR2 applications, web traffic, and URL hit count, and app-centric QoS classes and ART monitoring. So you can view the NBAR traffic under interfaces. Where you can see all the applications and its individual graphs based on speed, volume, and utilization. You'll also see the details of the QoS starts, ART, and switch to other interface for HTTP host for NBAR2 applications with classification like client packets, server packets, retransmissions, transactions, etc. You can therefore drill down to application level analysis and optimize by applying policies and analyzing their effectiveness. So with video traffic and highly bandwidth consuming applications being used every day, your bandwidth management job is never going to be smooth. However, with MediaNet monitoring, you can have data on the video and voice traffic, and you can know the metrics like jitter, packet loss, and RTT. Therefore, you can give your users and clients their expected user experience. Whereas the multi-class traffic is important since it's highly sensitive to latency and delay. Consider this example, this webinar. To maintain the smooth performance and to make sure that the receiver receives the information rightly, you need to know the how, what, and who of your bandwidth utilization. In the UI, you can view the MediaNet device under the MediaNet tab, where you can see the traffic, jitter, RTT, packet lost, and the entire conversation, etc. And for multicast traffic, you can view the traffic based on volume, speed, utilization, and packets. So it also shows you the ratio of multicast traffic and overall traffic to help you find if the utilization ratio is good for it to perform optimally. You can get this ratio for every interface of your network. The next feature is wireless traffic monitoring. The wireless networking era is not going to stop soon with IoT services and other wireless devices utilization increasing in the network environment today. Neglecting this can lead to a loss of network performance affecting your business operations. NetFlow Analyzer gives you complete visibility and control over your wireless traffic by providing traffic information on WLCs, access points, SSIDs, and clients. You can also group these access point and SSIDs for better management. We'll discuss that part in the second part of this free training series. Now let's take a detailed look at the WLC. Let's switch to the UI. You can click the WLC tab here, and you can see the list of controllers, access points, access point groups, SSID, SSID groups, client IP, and client MAC address. So here you can see the controllers and the access point available, and the access point groups, client IP, and MAC addresses. So when you click on the WLC tab, you can also view the monitor and monitor access point based on its SSIDs and client details to decipher if there are any rogue access points. You can also drill down to view the conversation to ensure that your dedicated network is not used by unauthorized clients. You can also view the SSIDs with in and out traffic, the number of access points associated with it, the applications used, client IDs using the SSID, and QoS policies that are associated. The major feature that NetFlow Analyzer offers is a dashboard in the NOC view. NetFlow Analyzer offers dashboard as a pictorial overview of all the network components in the network. With this dashboard view and the various parts, you'll be able to tackle what most organizations go through, the congestion. In some scenarios, when network congestion is existing for a prolonged time, your business might get affected, which you can tackle effectively. You can also customize this dashboard by clicking on the custom view. I'll show you in the UI. So this is the pictorial representation of all the dashboard of NetFlow Analyzer offers. To create your own dashboard, you can click on the new dashboard where you provide the name and description. When you click next, you can click the widgets that you want on your personalized dashboard like application, autonomous system, CBQoS, conversation, destination, etc. And click on other sub widgets like top application ART and top application NRT and click on next. You can select the users and create dashboard. As you can see now, Your personalized dashboard has been created with its conversation, CBQS, application, and all the personal widgets that you have selected. The other option that NetFlow Analyzer offers is a NOC view. With NOC view, the traffic summary will be refreshed for configured interval, and you can provide a name and description, select any of the refresh interval options, and customize the dashboard. To click on the Create NOC view option, you provide a name, description. The refresh intervals can be either 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, or 10 minutes. You can provide the dashboards and the custom dashboards, the NFA dashboards with options like WLC, apps, DPI, network snapshot, etc., and create a dashboard. Security beyond basic NTA. While performance is one benefit you get with NetFlow Analyzer's monitoring, security is yet another aspect that NetFlow Analyzer can provide that goes beyond traffic analysis. This can prevent vulnerabilities like zero-day attacks, internal threats, etc., leaving the network admins lag in terms of having network traffic visibility or accessing policies or security. How does NetFlow Analyzer help in this? NetFlow Analyzer has two main features that will help you perform behavior analysis, identify and troubleshoot any possible security issues before it disrupts the entire network. The first main feature is Network Forensics Report, and the second feature is Security Module. Many developing organizations encounter traffic spikes occasionally, and this might be misunderstood as just a typical growth sign. But even the traffic spike or bottlenecks can be because of a security issue. Neglecting these issues can result in a slow network or even device crashing. Without deep visibility into your network and looking into increase the bandwidth capacity every time there is a traffic spike is only going to keep your organization's budget down. Instead of this, it's important that your organization's bandwidth consumption is regularly analyzed for any traffic spikes or anomalies and determine the root cause. With increase in cloud services, your organization can experience both increase in productivity or even hacking attempts. That is why you need a network forensic solution. Network forensics is a feature that will provide you with better visibility into your network infrastructure. With this, you'll be able to monitor irregularities and spikes that will go unnoticed otherwise. You can carry out in-depth analysis of possible threats and shorten your troubleshooting time. Network forensics reports is one of the most important features of NetFlow Analyzer. And with this feature, you can generate reports that include every bit of flow information that has been exported from devices. With raw database reports, you can view into the details like TCP flags, packets, next hop information, port, protocol, top conversations, DSCPs, and IP addresses. This will help you identify which source is causing the sudden spike and shorten your troubleshooting time. Let me show you how you can generate the forensics report in NetFlow Analyzer UI. Under the report tabs of NetFlow Analyzer, click NetFlow and click on Forensics Report. You select the source. It can be interface, access point, or cloud interface. Select the device and select the interface and define the criteria, whether it's a source address, network, source nodes, destination address, destination networks, and all other options included. You can define a criteria and select the time period. And either you can choose a business or filter to generate a report and select the option to exclude weekends. And you can click on generate report. So you can see the traffic based on traffic, application, source, destination, QoS, TCP flags, next stop, AS view, conversation, multicast, and MediaNet. The next feature that will help you largely to maintain the security is the security module. Previously in NetFlow Analyzer, this module was named as ASM and attacks in the UI, which is now renamed as security. Coming back to the topic, some common threats that organization faces are DDoS, scans and probes, or botnet attacks. NetFlow Analyzer's security module uses the explore flow packets, analyzes them, and gives you reports for network anomalies. It performs network behavior analysis, hence showing you the attacks, and by sensing them before they lead to a huge network issue. With this, you can select the internal and external threats, zero-day intrusions, and find extensive incident details, correlation, and reporting. As we have discussed already, security model is used to analyze the information in the flow and categorizes them as the different security events and anomalies. It identifies the traffic using advanced mining algorithms and categorizes the junk traffic into 4 problem classes such as suspect flows, bad source or destination, DDoS, scans and probes. In the UI, you can see all the 4 types of attacks such as suspect flows, bad source or destination, DDoS and flash crowd, scans and probes. There are many attributes in our conversations that we can detect and many attacks based on the character of such attributes. Suspect flows class captures all the problems that fall under that category. Bad source and destination covers all flows that are suspicious source or destination IP addresses so that you can discover suspect IP or the IP addresses that send excessive network broadcast. And with suspect flows, you can also find out any problems other than the suspicious source or destination IP address. The third class is the DDoS attacks. And as discussed, DDoS attacks involve the flooding of hosts with continuous communication requests leading to bandwidth bottleneck. And such attacks on a network are classified under the DDoS class. The last one is scans and probes, where it classifies threats to vulnerable ports. So you can see the different types of attacks listed here with respect to what problem, the offenders, the routers affected, with time, and you can also see the top targets, the traffic source, and the problem class with number of unique connections that have been made. Security model contains a set of predefined algorithms for detecting and managing the issues, and you can either disable or enable these algorithms and categorize them based on your requirements. And also you can set the thresholds based on the severity of every category. So to set a threshold, under the settings tab, under the NetFlow tab, click on the alert profile. And in the security tab, you can click on to manage your thresholds. You can provide an alert name, profile name with its description, and select the source and define a threshold with its the source IP offenders or destination IP targets or input interface, output interface, etc. And define an action. And you can click save, and your security alert profile will be created. And if any threshold is violated, there'll be a notification sent to you via your email or as a PDF or CSV file. Moving on. NetFlow Analyzer has an extensive type of reports that will provide you with the traffic trends as observed over a period of time. Analyzing the traffic trends can help in pinpointing issues that have been persisting in your network, and the reports feature of NetFlow Analyzer gives you the advantage of customizing reports to provide you with dedicated insights you want to see. These are some of the reports featured that NetFlow Analyzer offers you. We'll look at each one of them now. With Search Report, you can search for specific traffic details by application, IP addresses, protocols, or host. In the UI, under the report section of NetFlow, under Search Report, you can select a source, can define the criteria, can be source address, where you provide the source IP address. And you can select the data and the IP data. It can be either IPv4 or IPv6, and select the time period. And you can generate report where you can see the source IP, destination IP, application, port, protocol, DSCP, traffic, etc. You can generate the report to your mail IDs or export it via PDF or CSV file. The next report is the compare report, where you can compare bandwidth usages for multiple devices at the same time or same device at multiple time intervals. Let me show you in the UI. So under the multiple sources of the same time period, you can select the interface, you can select the devices or custom selection, select the data points in the time period, select the business hours, and exclude weekend options, and click on Generate Report. So here you can see the report generated based on volume, speed, and utilization of all the interfaces included. The next report is Consolidated Report, where you can track the top talkers and conversations within a complete report. To generate a consolidated report, you can select the source and select the device and the interfaces with this traffic type based on speed, volume, and utilization, and select the top 10 records, and select the reports that you want to be generated, such as application, source, destination, QoS, and conversation, and select the time period, and click on Generate Report, where you can see a consolidated report based on volume, speed, and utilization, the application in and application out report, the source in and source out report, destination in and out report, and the conversation report. The next report is the inventory report, where you can visually combine traffic usage of all interfaces. So under the inventory report section, you can create the source, select the source, select the traffic type, and define the volume based on different criteria. And you can select the time period and click on Generate Report. So you can see the router name, interface name, and the traffic of in and out of the interface, and the maximum traffic and the minimum traffic, and the average traffic with its 95 percentile. You can generate the report via your email or export it to your CSV or PDF file. The next set of reports that NetFlow Analyzer offers is the percentile report, where you can generate traffic reports by 90th and 95th percentile values for interfaces and IP groups. Under the percentile report, you can again select the source, your traffic type based on volume, speed, and utilization, the time period, and select the business hour, or you can select the option of exclude weekends and click on Generate Report. And you can see the device name and the interface name and the traffic of in and out based on 90th percentile, 95th percentile, and 99th percentile. The next is the geolocation report, where you can identify the region-based information of source and destination traffic. To generate a geolocation report, select a source, select the flow type of in and out, and geolocation based on source or destination, the number of records to be processed, and the time period. Before you generate a geolocation report, you need to configure the geolocation on your NetFlow Analyzer. You can configure geolocation settings under NetFlow settings, in basic settings, and under the geolocation tab, you can update your geolocation and configure the geolocation report accordingly. The next report is schedule report, where you can get bandwidth usage reports automatically based on daily, weekly, and monthly. To generate a schedule report, under the report section, click on the schedule tab, where you can add a schedule based on the schedule name. Provide the description, select the report type, and the report format, how you want it to be exported, and it can be either PDF or CSV file. And you can also click on the all interfaces, or you can modify your selections based on your requirement. Provide the recurrence details. It can be based on once, hourly, daily, weekly, or monthly. Select the time zone and generate the report for which time period. It can be last hour, 6 hours, 24 hours, etc. And you can also have the option to generate report at your convenient time. And when you click on save, your report will be generated according to the time. The next is LAN WAN report, where you can track the traffic between your LAN IPs and LAN and WAN. To generate a LAN WAN report, you can select the LAN WAN or LAN to LAN report. And under LAN and WAN report, you can select the source. You can select the device and select the interface and select the flow type and the time period and click on generate report. And you can see the source, destination, application, port and protocols, DHCP values, and the traffic utilized. And you can also view them in an individual traffic graph. We'll discuss more on the report types like capacity planning, forecast, and billing report for the second part of this free training series. NetFlow Analyzer also offers the benefit of distributed monitoring with Enterprise Edition. With the distributed monitoring, you'll be able to scale and monitor all globally located data centers. You can have a centralized console to view all the data for monitoring different collectors or servers. You can click on that particular collector of particular office and view the UI for that server. If you're using a professional edition user and you're scaling for your organization and want to utilize distributed monitoring, you can switch to Enterprise Edition in a single click with NetFlow Analyzer UI instead of going to download again. So in the UI, under the Settings tab, under the NetFlow settings, click on Distributed Monitoring, where you provide your server host and the server port, which HTTPS and HTTP, and the internal collect name, and click on Enable. Once you click on the Enable option, please remember that you won't be able to reverse it back to the Professional Edition. So after clicking the Enable Edition, you can see the traffic, the controllers, and all collectors. And apart from the desktop option, now you can use the NetFlow Analyzer mobile application, which is available in both Android and iOS versions. You can monitor device and interface traffic with classifications like Cisco ABC monitoring, Cisco N-bar monitoring, WLC monitoring, etc. You can also get alarms for any threshold violations and generate and view reports and enhance the performance of your network on the go. As we are nearing the end of the session, let's have a quick recap at the concept that we discussed so far. We discussed how monitoring bandwidth plays a major part in assessing your network's performance and how NetFlow Analyzer brings an edge to monitoring it with automation and security analytics module, and how different reports can be a game changer in bandwidth management. The second part of this free training series is scheduled for March 19th, where you can learn to customize NetFlow Analyzer for your organization where we'll be discussing features like QoS policies, configuration, grouping network elements for easier monitoring, and adding real-time and aggregated alerts, and capacity planning for future bandwidth management. We'll also discuss some new updates or features added to the product. If you wish to get more insights about NetFlow Analyzer, please feel free to go through these resources or connect with our support team experts who will walk you through. NetFlow Analyzer has been considered a signature bandwidth monitoring solution by many enterprises. If you're one of the customer who has benefited from our product, we would like to hear now. You can use the link provided in the chat panel to share your experience with us on the Gartner website and get a $24 gift card. So that's it for today's session. We'd like to thank you for joining us today. Have a nice day.